Happy Friday, traders. Julian here doing a quick market recap. Just wanted to give you some insight as to what I was doing today, how I was approaching the market, and what I was getting up to. You'll notice that I got the ETF that tracks the NASDAQ biotechnology sector. This is the index, the IBB. Down today, 56 basis points. No big deal. The entire health sector, as you know, on average was down. Yet our scan was showing us some fantastic opportunities. Starting at the top, our first three stocks were up substantially 122%, 120%, 68%. But it's actually this stock right here that I personally wanted to trade. And I was noticing, excuse me, first thing in the morning that SEEL was actually going through float rotation, and there was a huge demand story here. We also got word that there were some folks on Twitter tweeting the hell out of this thing, as in get long. And the daily setup was nice. It was a pretty decent looking play. I'm going to show you what I did here. So I grabbed this off the scan. SEEL, this is the play right here. I'm going to go to a bigger chart and show you how I was picking my entries and give you some insight as to how I trade if you're not already familiar with what I do. But I'm looking for these gap ups, and I need to see a nice pullback. This is where I really get interested in these stocks. Setup is pretty simple. It's just a bull flag. I'm looking for things that are over the VWAP. You can actually see right through here, we get this nice little 3-bar reversal right through here over the VWAP and over that 9-day exponential moving average. Get a nice buy signal on the MACD. And so I thought, you know what? Everything here is suggesting it's going to run. Now, what happened after this was we got that break. We went straight to high a day. I was looking for this thing to push. You can see that this price is 442. At 444, literally cents away, we were at a previous pivot level, and we were looking to push through that. And so that was going to be a position it was going to struggle. And you can see that it did a few times. Now, right through here, because I don't know what's going to happen, and because I'm looking at the stock from this perspective, my assumption is if it's not going to break out, it's going to break down. That's my assumption as a risk manager. So I actually took this position off, and I think I was out of this thing at, I was in at 418, and I was out of this thing at 433. So you can see that it tried to break, had this dark cloud cover candlestick pattern right through here, and as it started to roll, I was like, whatever, I'm done. So I got out of the position, but I continued to watch it. There was another pullback right through here. I wasn't too excited on this one, so I sort of sat on this one. I didn't really do anything right there, and then I noticed later on in the day that we actually had a larger pattern that was developing, not just a first pullback, which is what I like to trade. I prefer that first run up and pullback entry play. But that didn't happen for me. So what actually started to happen was on a larger time frame, and I'm not talking about outside of the 2 minute. I'm just talking about from open to where I started to really watch this pattern develop, is that we started to see this ascending triangle really starting to build. And then it was the break of that ascending triangle at 445 that I got in again. Now, same thing. This thing bumped all the way to about 557, pulled back. There's a retest. It moved up a little bit, and then it started to get weak again. And it was in this level right through here that I started to get a little bit freaked out about these things. These low float stocks are very, very volatile. They've got a propensity to blast to the moon, but they get titanic sometimes on traders. And I just mean that these things cut in half and drop to the bottom of Mariana's Trench. Like, they get smacked. So, with that being said, I was a little bit skeptical on holding this thing. And then again, I was in at 445, and I scalped a 10-cent play on this thing. And then I got back in right through at this breakout up here I was actually in at 73, I want to say, 77. So I was taking the top of this candle, and I scalped it again for another 13 cents. And that's all I did. And then I got out of this thing. Now, the problem that the error that I committed is that realistically, and this is, in hindsight, the hindsight's 2020. Realistically, I really should have just sat on my stop and let my stop work, which I'm generally pretty good at. But for some reason today, I did not let my stop work. What does that mean? It means you let price action do what it's going to do. It either goes to your target, your profit target, or it hits your stop loss. That's letting your stop work. For me, I didn't let my stop work. I was really interfering with the position, and I was in, out, in, out, in, out. That was me interfering, not letting the stop work. And ultimately, if I would have gotten in at 418 and stayed in and let my stop work, I would have seen this thing run up to the sixes, okay? Or almost $6. So that is a pretty big move that I missed out on all day, right? So that is about a 37% move from where I got in. You know, let's say that I was in this candle and I stopped out down through here. I mean, still, ultimately, that's going to be over a 30% move, almost 31%. And that is a great play, but I was interfering with my position. I was interfering with my stops, and so I was in, out, in, out, in, out, and I experienced 3 trades that worked, right? And the risk was managed and everything was good on that side. But the bottom line is that I interfered with what could have been a great way to end the week. I'm not scoffing at 3 trades working and profiting what I did, but ultimately at the end of the day, you got to trust in your system, which I do 9 times out of 10. But this is the one time where I was a little bit sketched out by price action and I didn't let my stop work. I can't say that enough. I did not let my stop loss work for me. And what it ended up doing was it ended up costing me this 30% run up. And instead I scalped, 15, 10, and 13 cents respectively. So that's the recap. That's what I got. If you have any questions, by all means, feel free to reach out. Thanks for watching.